My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Let's Play Transport Fever 2 series. We start this episode sat on the roof of the tools factory just outside of Coventry, because that's where we're going to make our first changes in today's episode. What we're going to do is the two trains that deliver the tools from here into Bridport are going to get a bit of TLC, a bit of an upgrade, with faster locomotives and higher capacity cargo wagons. If you see off in the distance just over there, if you can make it out on the video, we see one of the tools delivery trains on its way up to Bridport now. So what we're going to do is immediately, as I said, start by checking out those trains and seeing if we can upgrade them. So we'll open the vehicle manager for this line, go to edit the train, let's wait for the autosave to get out of the way. Go, well there you go. Okay, so as you can see, on these trains we are still running the Class OB, I believe it is, yes. Now that only does 37 miles an hour and its power is quite poor, especially when you compare it to some of our newer trains, such as the A35, the Class S, and even the tripping over my W's and R's there, the Great Western Railway trains that I've unlocked as well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to stick some Russian Class S trains on this line, like so, and we can see we've just under doubled the power. The speed is a lot better, a hell of a lot better, and that's with the old, slower, smaller capacity cargo wagons. So if we also go to the new box cars that we have, the high capacity box cars, at the minute they're carrying 84, so if we wanted to replicate that carry capacity, although no, I'm talking out my arse, they do have the new wagons on them, it's just the locomotives that are out of date. So in that case, we'll upgrade the locomotives and we may as well go ahead and add a few extra box cars on as well. Perhaps something, maybe, can we get a couple more maybe? Let's see about that. Maybe take one off. There we go, as long as the medium grade speed is around at 50 mile an hour, which is the top train speed, obviously that's limited by the, I don't know why I'm deleting them, we can just put extras on. Yes. As long as the medium grade speed matches the top speed of the train, which is obviously 50 miles an hour as you can see here, then that tends to be my cut-off point. That's where I'll stop adding extras on. So that's going to cost us 12.75 million to upgrade those. So let's go ahead and do that now. And we want to colour them. There we go. Also, while we're here, as we can see, our planks train is also still running the Russian Class OB. So there's no harm in also upgrading these two trains, although one of the trains did have an upgrade. He has the A35. So let's just go ahead, and if we go to locomotives and pick the Russian Class S, as we can see here, in fact no, because they've got, I've just realised, they don't have the same wagons, so any comparison wouldn't be a fair reflection. So if we get that to 120, there we go. Let's see which of the two locomotives would be better served. It's not a very long run, so I'm thinking because the Class S hits full speed 50 miles an hour in 64 seconds, whereas the A35 takes 69 seconds, there's not much in it, granted, but it is a slight difference. We'll go ahead and have the Class S running this line as well, and that would cost us 10 million to achieve that. So we'll also go ahead and do that and give them a repaint like so, and that should make those lines a little bit faster and a little bit more profitable. In fact, here comes one of our newly upgraded tool trains right now, just waiting for clearance at this junction. Oh, we've got the expenditure numbers, the floating icons there, so we'll just get rid of them, and in comes the newly upgraded tools freight train to Bridport. So we'll see what sort of effect this is going to have. I'll show you what I mean by the finances for this line. Oh, sorry, that's just for that individual train. It's not the most, I mean, it is profitable, which is always, you know, it's good to be profitable, but it could be better. And I think faster trains with extended capacity is going to achieve that. So that's the aim of the game there, and that's what we've done here. Now, how are the logging trains? I think one of them is still an old train. Yes, indeed, logging train number 1. So again, quickly into manage vehicles. We have the A35 on the other train. So we'll stick with the A35. just so we have that little bit of variety, because as they say, variety, it is the spice of life. So where are the flat cars? There they are with the side stakes. It's a 144 capacity that we're looking for. There we go. That would cost us just under 9.5 million to upgrade that train. Again, we need to colour him that glorious shade of brown, because with the faster and increased capacity planks trains, we're going to need extra throughput on the logs here at the sawmill. Hopefully we have one train just on his way there. Yes, we do. So there we go. That's the new A35 now assigned to the first train that was running the logging line. And we'll just stay with him as he arrives into the station and drops off his full load of logs. Well, I'm not sure if it is a full load or not, because we may have upgraded him after he left the lumberyard. As you can see here, we've got a waiting planks train. He is currently getting loaded up. Whether there's enough there for a full load, no, I highly doubt it. He is a much longer train than previously. But now that we have a fresh supply of logs for him to consume, for the sawmill to consume, I should say, it shouldn't be too long before he does have a full load of planks ready to go. I'm just going to check I've still got the date speed on 1/2 times. Yes, I do. As I said in the previous episode, I think it was the previous episode, I've slowed it down just so we can enjoy the current era that little bit more, and we don't overlook too many vehicles, or the vehicles don't see service for just 5 or 10 minutes before they have to be replaced because we've got newer unlocks. Let's quickly check the state of play at Coventry. As we can see, the numbers of passengers have dropped. They were in the hundreds at one point. So adding the second commuter service from Coventry up towards Petersfield seems to have had the desired effect. Let's check that is the same at all our mainline stations. Here is Bridgewater. Yes, that's not too bad at all. Morley's definitely okay because there's only about 30 odd people there, as indicated by the icons there. However, one of our bus stops is quite busy, or tram stops perhaps. Yes, that's the second metro service in Morley. What are they running? They're running the Stadbarn Halle. I do think we actually have new trams that we could deploy in Morley, which should help get those passengers through to their destination a little bit faster. Let's see what we have here. We have the Moscow F. And yes, this is one we're using at the moment in Coventry, the Swiss tram. It is a little bit faster than Moscow, but it has a slightly less capacity, but the emissions are also less. So I am going to go for the Swiss. There we go. Make sure their maintenance is cranked up to the maximum to keep the noise pollution down as much as we possibly can. Now we shall quickly head on over to beautiful Stoke-on-Trent out here at the southern end of the map. 151 are waiting for the shuttle service. I think we have upgraded the shuttle service quite recently. Let's have a look. If we go to manage vehicles, yes, they have. Is that the A35 running that line? Or is that still the Prussian? Do you know what? If we hover over there, yes. Perhaps it's also time then to assign new locomotives to the shuttle service. Maybe we'll go for the Atlantic, something a bit different, or the 10-wheeler perhaps. Now I'm going to say we'll go for the 442 Atlantic. I don't think we've had that deployed anywhere in the network yet, so we'll upgrade him as well. We need to colour him that lilac colour, which I think is it that one. If not, it's close enough that it's not glaringly obvious that I've picked the wrong colour, or at least to me it isn't glaringly obvious. No. Say your words properly, enunciate. Obvious. There we go. How are the machinery freight trains? Do they need any attention? Let's have a look. Manage a vehicle. Well, we only have the one. He's currently got the Class PV. My God, is that? I think that's a very old train, isn't it? Where's the? Yes. Good Lord, he needs an upgraded locomotive. What shall we have here? I'm quite tempted to go with a Great Western 260. Again, just to have something a little bit different. And you also have the small or the lower capacity boxcar. So let's go ahead and upgrade those as well. At the minute, he's doing 31 across the board and carrying 70. So let's see if we can get those numbers somewhat similar or even improved. So if we had 72, still, well, his high speed is now the same, 31. But given that the medium speed is still the same as the top speed, we could probably expand him even further. Perhaps just drop one off. There we go, that'll do. That's going to cost us 7.5 million, give or take. So we shall accept that. Luckily, he is on station at the moment, so he should have time to take a full load. Indeed he is, but he is waiting on a steel delivery, or rather the machines factory is waiting on a steel delivery. Let's just have a look at this train, because I don't think we've actually had a chance to look at it yet. Does look very nice in his silver livery. You see the driver there stretching his arms out of the side of the cabin. Yes, not a bad looking train at all. We should also have a look at the Atlantic, because we hadn't had a look at him when he entered service, so we'll do that now. We've got one here just in motion. Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Yes, the carriages are looking a bit worse for wear around the edges, and I think they are the old carriages as well. They could do with being upgraded at some point, but for now, in fact, no, I'm going to do them now if we can afford it. Oh, what do we have here? We have the Benz tarpaulin and the Benz truck with side stakes. We'll have to check whether they are an improvement on our existing trucks, and if they are, we'll have to see about entering them into service. So let's just return to edit vehicle here. We've got the passenger wagons. I think the best option is to go for the 6-axle. So how does that affect the speed? That's 62, 42, 22 against 50, 50, 27. So he would be a bit slower on a medium and a high grade, but on a flat speed, on a flat gradient, he does hit his top speed of 62. I think that's a price worth paying. Plus he does have increased capacity as well, which is always a bonus, so we'll do that now. Again, given the lilac colouring system. There we go. That looks a little better. Yes, very nice train there. A very dapper gentleman there with his top hat. If we just... Oh god, last time I did this, I gave myself some sort of seasickness and nausea. Yes, everybody's looking very dapper at this station. Top hats all around. And there we go, we've sunk under the tracks. The tracks are levitating. Oh, hello. I think the less we say about what we've just seen there, the better. Although it is interesting to see that they don't just teleport when they go down the stairs. They do actually have an animation for walking under the station, under the platforms, even if they are walking in the ether. Okay. If we now head to our nearest truck line, which happens to be this one here, which is our little coal shunting service. Well, yes. Just to keep the steel factory topped up with coal, because we were struggling at one point. Let's see a comparison between these trucks and the Benz. So if we select them all, replace, cargo only. So I think these are running the steam flatbeds at the moment, which do 16 and carry 6. The tarpaulins carry 7 and do 25. That is night and day. They're also much, much more powerful. Lower emissions and increased loading speed. So it's time to go ahead and upgrade our freight haulage lines to, I guess these would be, I don't know if would they be petrol or would they be diesel? I guess they'd be diesel. And we'll retire the steam trucks from service as modernity beckons. Where else do we have such trucks? Here we go. Here are some at the quarry running both of these lines here. So the brick production for Petersfield. Let's manage these. Replace all. This is 30 trucks. These are running the NW first truck. Over double the speed, much more power, and increased capacity. It's going to cost us just over 2 million to replace those. these do want to have a very high maintenance because they do run into Petersfield. There we go. Let's just have a jump on board this truck here as he heads in to the truck station. There we go. Doesn't look bad at all. Our first little diesel truck, I believe. Not too sure about that steering wheel design. That just looks like he's steering an extra strong mint. I suppose if he gets hungry or if he goes to have a kiss, he can have a little nibble of his steering wheel and ensure that his breath is minty fresh. The Stockton Line. Do we have any vehicles? Did we set this up and not assign any vehicles? Well, that was dumb. Oh my word. Oh, we have... Oh, they're still sat in the depot. We never assigned that. What an idiot. Good grief. Okay, well, since we're in the depot, we may as well swap them all out immediately for the Benz tarpaulin trucks. They've already been had colour schemes. They will need their maintenance increasing. And let's get them on this line to Stockton. Can't believe... I forgot... Well, I can believe it. It's not a surprise. But what a rather foolish thing to do. Where else then do we run trucks? Oh, we have some here in Gillingham. These are the fuel delivery trucks. Let's just do a comparison between... I'm just clicking all the things there. Just clicking to click for clicking's sake with the looks of it. Can you... Yeah, we'll run the Benz tarpaulin here. Just 400,000 to replace those ones. That's not a problem. Again, high maintenance because they do go into Gillingham. We want to ensure we can cut down the emissions where possible. We have the 2 lines here, even though we only need 1. These are still running horse and cart, for God's sake. Wow, these are going to love their upgrade. Just for comparison, let's have a look here. 12 miles an hour carrying 5. 25 miles an hour carrying 7. Absolute no-brainer. And for these, the maintenance doesn't matter. Okay, we also have the refined oil haulage line, even though they're just doing exactly the same thing as each other, but I've embraced the little mistakes. I'm going to keep them there now. So that is that line taken care of. What else do we have? Yes, we have some delivery trucks in Bridport. So 4 for the machines, tarpaulins, high maintenance, and we also have the tools delivery wagons, tarpaulin trucks with high maintenance. That's Bridport dealt with. Coventry, yes, we do indeed. We have 2. One running. What am I pressing? Good lord, man, concentrate. Yes, these trucks here, let's go ahead and swap all of those out. And for these, we can actually have the side stakes because these are only shunting bricks and nothing else. There we go. Jack up the maintenance. And then we need to do the same for our tool delivery trucks here. Swap them out. You do have to have the tarpaulin. That's not a problem. There we go. Looking very modern. Well, not modern as in 21st century, but set against a steam truck or a horse and cart, we are looking very modern all of a sudden. We have these here. I don't know if we're going to be able to afford these. We do have a lot on this line, but we shall try it. You never know. We can. 6.8 million. There we go. Beautiful. The logging trucks. Yes, let's go ahead and swap these as well. That's 1.8 million. We're currently 5 million in the hole. So we'll just take a few moments now to let some money accumulate, and then we shall swap those out ASAP. So I'll just set the game to 4 times speed, and I'll put a little cut in here until we get the money. Okay, so we're up to about 3 million, so now we can go ahead and replace those trucks on this little short logging shunt service. What else do we have? We have deliveries into Morley that will need changing. The plastics will need changing, as well as the steel and the goods, and the delivery trucks into Stoke as well. And I think then that is us sorted, I think. So let's go ahead down to Morley. We have the food delivery trucks here, 20 of those. We can't afford it again, so once again 4 times acceleration. Oh, never mind, the game wanted me just to do it now, so thank you very much, game. I love you. No lie, I do love this game. It's brilliant. We have the bricks trucks. They can be swapped over. There we go. Oh, the maintenance on these needs to be increased, doesn't it? Yes, because they're going into the city. Same on the food delivery line as well. Just quickly do that before I forget. There we go. Don't pause it. No need to pause it. Oh, Jesus. Well, that is not working as intended at all. My God. Now we will pause. We'll pause the game progression speed, and we need to address this because that's like an old game of Snake on your Nokia 3310 for those of you who can remember that. So let's see, how are we going to deal with this? It's just going to be a case of selling... Oh, we can't because they're all full. I don't want to waste the goods that they are carrying. Okay. Shit. Can I extend? We're just going to have to extend the platform, but how? We're going to have to put another like 10 on there just to make enough clearance for these to shuffle around so he can pull away. Jeez, you'd think they'd just leave a gap for him. This is going to look absolutely bizarre because, oh, we can't go much further. That's as far as we can go. Is that going to do enough for us? I don't think it is. No. Oh, maybe. Well, now what you're waiting for? Go on. Piss off. Are you assigned to pick anything up here? I don't think you are. You shouldn't be. Oh, you are. No, you're not. Oh, they're spacing out. That's the issue. Okay. Okie dokie then. I'll have to keep a weather eye on that and make sure this doesn't reoccur. However, while I'm here, I did come here to upgrade them. Didn't realise they were going to be tangled up on each other as badly as they were, but there we go. At least we've addressed it now somewhat, although I imagine that is not a perfect solution, and we will have further issues down the line. The other option... Okay. Little experiment. I'm not sure this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a try. If we have a station entrance only over there, and then if we connect it to this road here, and then with a waypoint, tell the trucks we can't even afford to build a bloody road at the moment, but you will want to be kept flat. That might result in a tunnel, but that is what it is. There's not much we can do about that. So obviously all this expenditure has caught up with us now. We are struggling a little bit for money, or in... Well, we're not really struggling, it's just... It's not caught up and filtered through yet, if that makes any sort of sense. Probably not. But there we go, we can now afford it. So yes, it is going to create a tunnel. Like that. And then out like... Is that going to let me do it? Looks a little strange having a junction in a tunnel, but I'm going to live with it just to get it in place. Post box as a waypoint, and then amend the line, manage the line. You want to now hit not that waypoint but rather that waypoint, and then they'll come straight in here. The only issue is now they may start blocking the steel delivery trucks if they're all backed up along here. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to rectify that. And I think the way has got to be by adding a waypoint out here and guiding our steel trucks back down this way. So let's go ahead and do that as well. There's post boxes for days out here. If you've got letters, come down to the goods factory. They can handle them for you. Not a problem, lads. We'll take your mail. What am I pressing now? All the things, all the wrong things, naturally. So after the goods, you want to hit that waypoint. Do you know what? If you're going to be dicks, you're going to get sold. It's as simple as that. Just going to get rid of a load, so I'll pick this back up once I've sold enough to punish them, essentially, because they've annoyed me. It's my own fault, but they've annoyed me. I'm blaming them. Besides, we do have higher capacity now, so there's no reason not to sell a couple. Okay, so I don't know how many of them I ended up selling in the end, but I sold enough that hopefully now this shouldn't be an issue, because these should start to space themselves out once they start leaving the truck station, but we'll keep an eye on it just in case. In the meantime, we need to upgrade these steel stroke goods delivery trucks as well, so we'll go ahead and do that. And again, we'll go for the tarpaulin trucks. There we go. What next? We have some trucks over here that are delivering the grain to this food processing plant. Let's go ahead and swap these out as well. There we go. Anything else? Yes, we have this little crude oil shunt line here as well. Select them all. Tarpaulin trucks, there we go. That's another line upgraded. Don't we have some delivery lines here? Yes, we do. These need upgrading as well, so let's go ahead and do that. Select them all, please. Yes, there we go. Tarp trucks with high maintenance. Similarly, here, we want tarpaulin trucks with high maintenance. That's those completed and dealt with. These have been, yes, they've been done. Yes, of course they have. These on this line here, which is a planks haulage, will also need addressing. However, their maintenance will not need changing, so there we go. They can have the flatbeds with the side stakes. You're just waiting for some lumber or some logs to be dropped off, which is happening presently. That's okay. I do believe that's your lot. Okay. So that's our trucks upgraded to diesel engines now across the board, or so I believe. I can't think of anywhere else where we have them, but if I do spot anywhere, obviously we will upgrade them when we come across them. So moving forward, what's next on the expansion program? It would make sense, I think, to continue this line from Derby into Macclesfield. This has picked up in popularity quite nicely, which is pleasing to see. So I think that might be the way ahead. We could... Ooh. Macclesfield's location isn't the most conducive for an out-of-town train station because it is surrounded on three sides by very mountainous terrain. So how or where is the best place to put it? I will have to come back. We'll come back to that at another time, I think. Because that's going to take a bit of thought and a bit of planning. So we'll have to revisit that, unfortunately. What I'm going to do is, once the autosave has completed, I'm going to open the vehicle manager and just make sure there's no other trains anywhere in the network that are in need of some attention and some upgrading. So if we just select our railroad lines, and we'll just hover it, that's the 8th, so that's okay. There we go, the machinery to Bridgewater can do with being swapped out. So let's do that. I'm going to go with the Class S, I think. And you also need the newer box cars as well. So let's give you some of them. Originally you had 70 capacity. So that would just about match it up with a little bit extra. However, we still have a very good or a good power rating. So let's go ahead and chance on with a few more. How's that? That's okay. 9.5 million. Let's do it. Of course, the increased machinery delivery is going to help grow cities even further, so we can meet or even exceed their demands for goods. Any others that are lagging behind the times? I don't think. Oh, what do we have here? What do we have here? The steel. Yes, that one needs changing. You're probably okay because you've got a new loco. So let's go to the Ripley to Bridgewater train. This is only the one train on this line. Let's go for, I'm going to say the A35 for this one, just to, as I like to say, have a bit of variety and a bit of difference, so all the trains don't look identical as they're passing each other. It's nice to see some variation. We want to upgrade the cargo wagons as well, and these are flat cars we are looking for here. There we go, we'll go for the 12 tonner, and if we go, say, like 156 capacity, that's still a decent enough speed. Couple more, what does that do for us? Still decent. Couple more. Take one off. That'll do me, I think. That is going to cost 12 million, so again, we're going to have to just wait a few moments while we accumulate some money. So back to 4 times speed, and I'll see you in a few moments. Okay, so we've just tipped over, so let's quickly drop him in. And then that's the steel freight line done. Continue checking through our trains. I think we are all good at this point. Yes, we are. So there we go, that's our trains drive kicking and screaming into the 1913s. As I pointed out while we were waiting for the funds, we did unlock a new ship as well. So let's just go ahead and check him. If we just pick on this ship, because I can see him and I'm lazy. This is a tanker, so it might not be the best comparison actually. So let's just get all our ships visible there. And I think we'll compare them against the Klondike. Just pick the one ship, please. Oh, is the Schaffhausen a tanker? No, it is not. It carries everything. It's faster. Same capacity as the Vandal, which we have running the tanker line at the moment. But it is faster. And it's faster than the Klondike just. With increased capacity as well. In terms of running costs, it is more expensive than the two. However, for the increased throughput and increased speed, I think it's worth upgrading to the Schaffhausen. So if we just select all of our ships that we have, that's 24. This is going to cost a metric ton to do. 17 million. So once again, sticking with a theme, 4 times speed, jump cut, we'll pick it up once I hit 17. Right, we've just tipped over 21 million, so let's go ahead and replace all of our ships as well. There we go. Okay, so I think in terms of upgrades, we are done. Don't think there's anything else in dire need of attention. However, now that we've upgraded all our trucks and a lot of our trains, we may have to keep an eye on the throughputs in the stations to make sure they're not running too dry and we're not having too much build-up. I know we have huge build-up here, so that might be something to pay attention to. How many trips are you doing now per year? Are you more frequent? Not really. You're still every 4th year, essentially. Oh, no. You're getting a bit more frequent. Yes, you've almost halved-ish the amount of time it takes you to make a full journey with a full load. So the little tweaks we made over at the steel mill seem to have worked, or perhaps it was the tweaks we made at the goods factory, I'm not quite sure. But whatever it was, it seems to have worked quite nicely. You've now made your own delivery off your own back. Obviously that delivery there and that one there were us manually sending him on his way. However, he's now made his first full delivery, which is pleasing to see. So that's taking shape quite nicely. Probably worth getting rid of some of these trucks here, if I'm perfectly honest. Not sure we need that many, but we'll keep an eye on it and see how it does for us. Let's just have a quick look at our new ships. Here's the Schaffhausen on the logging line. Just coming into port there now. Lovely low slung deck style ship there. It is a paddle steamer. I don't know if you can see it there, but you can just about make out the paddles spinning away on the port side of the vessel. As he just comes into dock there. Very nice indeed. Let's just have a quick look at our finances. Obviously, the investment is ridiculous at the moment because we've just spent a lot of time and obviously a lot of money going through our lines and dragging our trains kicking and screaming into the new era. In terms of finances, if we just drop it back a bit, we're not the most profitable company in the world, let's say that, so we may need to make some tweaks in terms of efficiency, make some adjustments, see if we can eke out some more profits. That should cut down on the amount of time we're having to accelerate the game speed and put in jump cuts in the video while we accumulate funds. How's the express service doing since he's just pulled in? What we've got waiting? We've got 89 waiting. You carry 48. Well, that's could be an issue. So the express train may need some attention, or it may need more trains running the express line. Something to bear in mind. Bridgewater. Oh, the numbers are starting to jump back up on the main line. We have 2 pushing 300. However, a train has just arrived, but I don't know how many of these are going to disembark at Bridgewater. Let's just quickly see. Let's wait for them to come to a stop, and we'll try and see how many jump off. So it was that about 60 of them disembarked, so we've managed to pick up 60 of the passengers, which is not going to make a massive dent in the total, to be fair. So that's something we may have to look into, whether it means we need a commuter service. I mean, I did hope that the bus service... Oh no, that's got quite a few people on, but then again, you haven't. There's a little bit of uptake, but it's not the best in the world. Let's check Coventry's numbers. Okay, so the stopping service to Petersfield is proving fairly popular, which is good to see, which will relieve some of the strain on the mainline trains. Obviously you will take a full load because this is your termination station. Bridport, how are we doing over here? Okay, 2 of our commuter shuttle trains are, one's just entering, one's just leaving. Leaving. It's a V, not a th. So that's, I didn't tell how many numbers. Yes. Again, the main line is still pretty busy. Gonna have to do some experimentation and some tweaks with the main line, I think. Up here, things are looking okay. Boston's grown a scooch. Again, you're quite restricted in terms of your future expansion because of the mountains you have surrounding you on 3 sides. So it'll be interesting to see how the AI deals with that. Stockton is looking okay, although we do have a busy... Wow! We do have a busy bus stop here. Let's go ahead and add more buses. We'll just straight up double them. Get all their maintenance set to very high as well. Petersfield, you've already been doubled, so we'll leave that for the time being. We don't want to oversaturate. That's always something to be wary of when you're increasing your numbers. And Derby, do we need more trains on the shuttle service at Derby? I believe we only have 2. Yes, so having a few more on there probably isn't the worst idea in the world. Other than that, I think everything's looking okay. So in terms of expansion, we haven't done much, but we have done... we have been able to upgrade pretty much every vehicle that we have running our network. Hopefully that will start to have a healthy impact on our finances. Obviously we'll have to give it a year or so to let it all bed in and settle down and then see what sort of effect it is going to have on us. It shouldn't be a negative effect, or at least I hope it's not going to be a negative effect. Over here, let's just have a look at the main line. Yep, you're still nice and profitable, which is good to see. How profitable is the intercity service? Yes, again, nice and profitable, so that's reassuring to see. And that's only going to go one way because we have a lot of pickup and uptake on that. How are we doing here? I think our throughput on the planks is an issue at the moment, which is probably caused by a throughput issue on our lumber trains. That does indeed seem to be the case here. How much you got waiting? 66. That's not enough for a full load. Just over half. So perhaps either extended or a 3rd train to get the logs down into the sawmill is the way ahead for this little line here. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. We probably can afford to duplicate at least, yeah, just one of the trains. Let's see. Yes, we can. Just make sure we give them the correct name. This is logging Bridgewater to Coventry, and this is 03. So that should obviously have a knock-on effect all the way downstream, which is always a good thing. So yeah, I think we'll call this an episode. In terms of expansion, as I said, it's not been the most interesting, but part of the game is obviously managing your network, your vehicles, upgrading them, balancing them and so forth, making sure they're running as smoothly as you can. So we've done that. So if you have enjoyed this episode and you enjoy the series, please feel free to leave a like, perhaps even a comment, and if you're feeling rather generous, you may even subscribe for further content, but that's up to you. So guys, thanks for watching, take care of yourselves, it's ta-ta for now.